Nets, very simple, obvious piece of gear for the fly fisherman. This here, the Fish Pond Nomad boat net, is my go-to net fishing from the drift boat or a raft. This long handle allows me to really reach out and net the fish from further away. Closer the fish gets to the boat, more likely you are to lose them. Like 90% of the time you lose fish, it's right at the boat. Something happens right at the boat and that fish pops off, something you don't handle it just the exact right way, and fish is gone. So this allows me to hopefully kind of get to that extension there and net that fish a little bit sooner than you would if you had a smaller handled net. Another big feature about this net is the depth of the bag. A lot of times you'll net a fish and I can't just let go of the oars in the boat. We're going downstream. There may be some obstacles I need to adjust for. So I'm gonna slow us down. Bam, I got the fish in the net, and I might hand it to that client and say, here, hold the net. Let me pull the boat over and we'll take care of this fish. That happens all the time, especially in the Gunnison Gorge. We don't have anchors there. There's always rocks and rapids to avoid and dodge. And you know, you net that fish, bam, client's holding it. And so it's long enough for the client to sit in their seat and just extend their arm and keep that fish in the water until I can pull over and we can take care of that fish and grab a photo, all that good stuff. That's number one reason why I like the big mouth net and the long nature of the handle, for that reason alone. Because that happens a lot. Almost on a daily basis, I'm asking a client to hold the fish in the water, in the net, until I can get over and take care of it personally. So number one net, Fish Pond boat net. Number two, and this is my walkway net. This is the Daymaker from Simms. Very light. It has a deep pocket, bucket for fish. This is my walkway net. Like I said, I don't do a ton of walk wading. This is light, this is compact, and it can usually just goes, if I'm wearing a backpack, goes right there, stays pretty much out of the way. But it's really light and versatile. A lot of people walk wade with a net kind of like this. It's a short handled, stays out of the way, a lot better than this one. This one will still get caught on trees and stuff like that if you're hiking through, especially if it, sticking up behind you like that. I've lost a couple nets like that. That's just kind of the nature of it. But I like the longer handle on my walkway nets because if you're fishing by yourself, there's only so far back that you can go to, increase to get that fish to you. And so at the end of this handle, it gives me a couple extra feet, makes it easier to net those fish by myself. That's why I like that. But if you're going to be hiking through a lot of trees and forests and stuff, maybe a net like this with a smaller handle be better for you. And then this is kind of just, it's actually a wooden one that broke. It's a cheaper one. Had a buddy kind of repair that for me. But again, deep buckets. Big fan of the deep buckets on those. And then the only other net that I carry, and if you thought that one was big, you see this one. This one is a very specific net that I use. And I can barely hold it up in here because it's so long and big. But you see this big bucket, huge bucket, and a great length of the handle there. So I use this for my lake trips when we're targeting pike. Pike can get bigger than trout, and it's nice to have them in a big net like that just so they don't flop out. I've actually lost some really nice pike using, before I bought this big one, and this is, I don't even know the brand of this, I got it at Sportsman's. But I lost some nice pike in this because this bucket was just not deep enough. Pike's hanging out. We net them. We're trying to get them over to get the hook out and grab some photos. It flops, spits the hook, goes in the water, fish is gone. So that only happens to you a couple times before you might invest in a bigger net. And to be honest with you, this is way more than I wanted to spend on a net. But I didn't want to lose another pike in that way, especially with a client who's you know, I get a lot of people who've never really fished for pike before. It's a great thing to fish far in the spring, before the rivers start fishing, or during runoff even, depending on the year. So that's why I got into pike fishing. And a lot of people kind of talk them into that because it's a fun thing to do that nobody has done before, and in the spring it can be quite fun. You can go have some great days. So long story short, that's my nets, and I'll have the links below and all the other YouTube stuff. So go check them out, and I'll see you in another video, or maybe on the water sometime. Check out, I'll put that links below too on the fly fishing trips that I offer in Western Colorado.
Trot on the pole. Can't force it. Can't force it.
Nice work.